One of my all-time favorite cars, and I've driven 2 of them so far, is the Detomaso Pantera. But today, the one we're gonna dig in on, Steve Strope got his hands on this one, and he built a beauty. Can't wait to show you guys this car.
That's for speed, for you camera savvy. You can just start. Yeah, just
We're
start.
starting this way again, aren't we? You guys, this is my friend Steve Strope. We're here at Pure Vision Design. This is what we're here for, is the Pantera.
Yeah.
Now, there's some story behind this, so I'll give you the brief of it and we'll dig in a little bit more in a little bit. This is the love of your life's car.
She didn't know it at the time, when I was like weeks late in calling her back after she called for help on this thing.
Yeah.
She belongs to a Pantera club that had been here 10 years prior. And she was here 10 years prior. She introduced herself on the voicemail as the secretary for. So I thought they wanted to do another Bring the Club Here day.
Right.
And I was very busy at the time. Like, I don't got time for that right now. Lovely people. Yeah. I was just really busy. So I finally got off my tuchus and called her. She said, I need help with my car. I admitted to her, oh my goodness, I thought you were calling for a different reason. Yeah. So why don't I stop? I'll look at the car. I'll get familiar with what you want. Sure.
Well, no knock to anyone else that gets their hands on Panteras, but just the walking around that we did prior to this part, which is we're now finally shooting.
That means I talked a lot.
I mean, but really, as a guy that's always had like I remember as a little kid, I always looked at Panteras because they're cool. The car still looks good, almost 50 years later.
Right.
And we'll walk through this, you guys. We're gonna get into the details as we always do with Steve, but you honored what a Pantera is. You didn't go away from it. No. You just made it light years better than what it was.
A little better
from an aesthetic perspective as well as from a mechanical perspective.
Yeah, we made some upgrades because I'm familiar with Panteras. I've worked on other cars from that Pantera club. Like no car's perfect, and especially when you're dealing with a mid-engine Italian car, even if the engine's American, there's issues. So when I got the opportunity to rip it apart, I threw away all the offending things that I knew were problematic. We're not gonna do a Pantera tech session, but there's plenty of things that aren't that fantastic originally. So we just upgraded those things without, as you said, without insulting the car.
Try this one on for size, you guys. There's only a couple cars I can think of off the top of my head that we've shot before where paint and body was not touched.
Yeah.
So all the stuff, all the tearing apart of this car,
we disassembled it 100%.
Everything that's happened.
Everything was off this car.
Has been no damage to paint and body on the car, which to me is
a lot of work.
I mean, seriously.
To touch base on those little things, that stuff I didn't tell you earlier, the power windows in this, the arms and some of the parts had a flexing issue. They just weren't very strong. So we doubled and reinforced that so they actually work nicely. And those were the things we kind of targeted, not just, hey, it's got to look super bitchin'.
I always like to do this because I know there's so many little detail things you do as far as interior, all the different elements.
Yeah, there's a lot changed.
So there's less mechanical, although there's a lot, but there's less mechanical. So why don't we pop the back and start with the engine bay.
Sure.
And kind of work our way forward from there, and then we can dig in on what's been done on the interior, which is kind of everything.
So this was kind of a glamorization project. The sheet metal in here is original. The big box cover around the gas tank, which is over here on the driver's side, is basically original. We made a new cover, a little top that was a little nicer, but we made this cover. Underneath that side are the radiator fill and expansion tanks and all the hoses going to it to kind of mirror what the factory did over here. Now from the factory, they had kind of a abbreviated like little top plate but didn't cover down the sides. And so we made that. And then...
And paint matched.
Oh yeah, of course, and the paint match, yeah, we had to match the paint. As you said, the car was already painted. So the motor is the 351. She had Clay Smith cams rebuild the motor, and it's a mild stroker. My apologies, I don't have it to memory, but it's 370 something, like a 372 or so. The car gets out of its own way just fine.
Making about how much horsepower? What would you
Probably
ballpark
4.25,
Yeah.
right around there. And then the original ZF transaxle that was fully polished. And then we repolished the ribs, and then Kelly, one of my main cats, he is the painter in-house here for when we do this detail painting, and obviously he did a beautiful job. And then what you can't see underneath is we redid the underneath in a truck bed liner in black, so it's waterproof. Then all the suspension components are powder coated in the same gold. This gold I've actually had sitting and waiting to use on something. The color, it's actually a Lexus color called Egyptian Sand Pearl. And I love the color, and I thought it went really nice against the blue.
So that's any of the gold we see on the car, from the headers to the suspension to the exhaust.
So the headers are a gold of its own. It's a thermal coating, and then it's wrapped with DEI header wrap back. And then at the back of the tips, these were an aftermarket Pantera exhaust system. We cut the tips off, made adapters, and then made our own stainless tips. That allowed us to thermocoat everything, and these will stay nice forever. And we could replace it if we needed to. We could just make another one. So pretty straightforward. The taillights are not the original taillights. These are, I think they're the GT4 taillights. And then the other thing I changed was the script back here said Detomaso Pantera. And I copied as best the Detomaso's font and had her name, Bobby's. So instead of Detomaso Pantera, it's Bobby's Pantera.
That's great. That's such a Strope kind of touch to
And
you,
that's
man.
thanks to Steve down at Billet Badges down San Diego way. He whittled that out for me, so great job. But
Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
Now, you said the suspension components, is it still stock original suspension to the
Yeah,
car?
it is, except we found their hardware questionable, so we've got ARP in there. We removed the factory brace and made our own chromoly strut that we painted the Egyptian Sand Pearl, again with ARP hardware. Nice and simple. I didn't want a big, I've seen other versions, and here I go insulting other potential Pantera owners, but they've got these big billet ones that look like literally an erector set, or it looks like the Golden Gate Bridge. I wanted your attention on that gorgeous transmission, on those gorgeous engine, not this erector set. So simple bar, clean, extremely strong, and adjustable, and it doesn't take your eye away from the motor. Pretty straightforward, and also the air cleaner is just a good old Ford. If I believe right, we got a repop version for like a Shelby GT350, or just kept it Ford.
Brakes
are
original?
actually no.
Yeah.
We have to thank the good people at Willwood. They crammed us some big old rotors and calipers underneath these 15s. The car came from Bobby with these Gotti 3-piece, which are OG wheels, not for a Pantera, but for back in the day, that was one of the expensive 3-piece wheels, and you don't see them much anymore, so it's kind of neat, let alone she's got the giant 15 by 12s, and the tire is the Pirelli P7 off the Lamborghini Countach, the 345 15. And
What does it run up front?
I don't remember, but that's a Pirelli tire too. We matched it. They're not giant. I think they're like a 235 or a 245, which we can look and match. And then of course, it begs the question on the flare. This car was gone through back in the day by Hal Pantera, and all you Pantera guys are gonna know who that is. So that's really cool that Gary Hall had his hands on this car. And one of the things they did were these flares. Pantera offered a screw-on flare for their race car guys, because you break it, you take screws out, put another one on. So his granddaughter, Tara Pantera, had told me...
Tara Pantera?
Her name is Tara, but you can guess where it came from. She said her grandfather really liked the shape of the Pantera bolt-on flare, but wanted a more elegant weld-on, so he had his own steel ones made, manufactured them and sold them, and or installed them on customers' cars. So this is the Hall Pantera flare.
They look so good.
Yeah, installed by Hall at Hall, which is really cool. That's really neat that they had their hands on this car.
So Willwood Figures out how to get you a big brake kit while dealing
fitting
with
the
a
rotor
little
and fitting in a
15-inch wheel.
15. Yep. And also we have their new electric e-brake. So it's just a little switch under the dash, turns it on. There's no cables, there's no nothing dangling under the car. And I'm telling you right now, all you kids that want to know, that thing does not let go. It's not like readjust the cable and hope it pitch. That thing goes and it's there forever until you let it go.
I love the flares and I love the wing because it fits the car so well.
Yes,
it just does.
And in this era of everyone knows everything, there's tons of people, especially guys that are into super cars and super sports cars and speed and aero. This probably hurts top end. It's extremely heavy. I know. But as he's saying, visually, it looks so cool. If there's not a little bit of a 12-year-old in you still when you're dealing with these cars, you got a problem or you're just a scientist. You have a car, you build a car, you bought a car, whatever it is. When you get out of it and walk away, if you don't turn around and look at it and smile, you bought the wrong car.
Totally agree.
And that has nothing to do with it. If it was perfectly aerodynamically efficient at 204, who cares? Nobody cares. Techo, and 20 to 1, you don't have a car that goes 200 either.
Strope going off.
No, it's just, I love the naysayers. They're like, well, actually, that's a problem.
I love your you know this, dude. We're good enough, long enough time friends. Your passion for what you do and for what this hobby represents.
Plus, it came with it, so I can't get rid of it.
But I love it, dude. I love the passion. So this is another one that I think is super cool. I like how you opened this up.
No, Hall Pantera did that again.
They did.
That was a trick
This is
of
not you
letting
doing
airflow.
This. And this one as well. Or is that you guys?
No, that's always
opening
wide
that?
open. That's always.
It was always open.
It's got a rear window.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's always been open.
That,
that
like
allows plenty of airflow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a smart little trick that those guys thought up a long time ago because these things had cooling issues.
Yeah.
We, of course, have a much bigger radiator and a better heat transfer.
Which let's come up front for that part.
And we tried to make this nice in here too. So the battery's countersunk. And
you said stock Pantera would normally have the battery.
Yeah, it's up top. Mm-hmm. Yep. And also our battery box and the underneath of that lid is plastic lined. So you can't have a cable short out and catch a fire, right? Of course, audio tunes inside provided by Kicker. That's one of their new, that little sucker has a ton of power right there. That's driving 2 subwoofers, 2 mids and 2 tweets. Great little amp.
So you got crushing audio in here.
Again, we threw away all the Prince of Darkness. Those of you who know Prince of Darkness, that is Lucas wiring, out the door.
Well, maybe you're the one who's been riding a crazy train, but I've been the Prince of Darkness since 1979.
All painless wiring, so new modern heavy gauge wires, much, much safer.
How funny, just name-wise, to go from Prince of Darkness to painless. It's like, I'll go painless. You know what? I like painless.
Painless is better than Prince of Darkness.
I like painless.
Yes. So the original one was underneath the kick panel, and so we relocated it out here. You just unscrew that box and it's all the new modern mini fuses and easy to work on, easy to get stuff for. And then the radiator, which is under this cover, it's a new modern radiator, big giant aluminum piece with twin Spall brushless fans. But the factory panel there had just louvers to let the heat out through these ducts. So we cut that out and put in the big mesh so like the air would just flow out a whole lot better. And by the way, I did a back-to-back test. I put in the factory panel, drove it around, got it up to temp, drove it at red lights, and it went to about 200, which is still livable. I pulled the panel out 10 degrees. 10 degrees.
Just from the changing of the panel. And that looks better.
And it looks better.
And it looks better.
Yep. Just little things. And then Eric Thorson, just leather trimmed. And original piece, the booster, used Wilwood's Master. We got rid of the original hydraulic slave cylinder and ran the Wilwood piece. And then this is one of their new little finned anodized tapes. So simple.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, just nice and clean.
You mentioned Eric Thorson, so Eric did the interior.
The interior
up
and in here too.
He did do the interior.
Yes, he did. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he hates me.
I'll bet he does. That's
a
very tiny area to have to work in.
Yeah, there was a lot of work here.
Stuff.
A lot of work here. Your Pantera guys will have to move the plate out of the way, but These aren't factory. You know, we put in our own defroster ducts and they work great. Yeah, I got rid of that big giant center console, and I think I did a much more elegant solution. You know, I'm sure plenty of people will argue.
Let's jump into the interior.
But the structure underneath, we reinforced and redid, but we got rid of some bracing in the way and we put in vintage air. So this car has a real heater AC defroster.
Because this car never had.
They had air conditioning, but yeah.
May as well not have it.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Just before we can even get in, this sill plate, you guys said you made this, right?
Yeah, I wanted to do a different insert inside the dash, and I found this quilted stainless. I had already had that quilted stainless and have it as the dash insert in my 67 Buick that no one has seen yet. And I love it. It's a custom backsplash for a kitchen. These cars don't really have sill plates because the weather stripping goes all the way around. So I wanted something just to close that off between the carpet and the weather stripping, and we had enough, so we just handmade those pieces. And it looks really nice.
It does. And you can do your dishes in here.
I can do my dishes in there.
So now with these seats, as I sit down, these are from what?
These are from like a 2011 Porsche Panamera, and then we cut literally about 12 or 14 inches because they went all the way up past the back of your head. So that's
but fully adjustable, up, down, back, forth.
They're like 18-way, and they've got all this moves and the inflates, and they're heated and cooled. Yes. Yeah, very, very comfy. And Bobby is short, and every time she drove this car, she would
pillows
put pillows
were in the seat.
And so when we made the mounts for the seats, I had the seats mounted so they were on their track all the way back and all the way down. So from that launching point where you are right now, it has all of its forward travel and all of its up travel.
So do they go any lower than they currently are? Or
no, they can't go lower. We're on the floor.
Got it. We're as low as they go.
But she now doesn't even put the seat all the way forward and all the way up.
So she'll bring it up a little bit from where we're currently sitting.
Well, a lot of it, but yeah.
You guys will see it a little bit because we're doing the interview part, the detailed elements of this build with Steve, because he knows it intimately. And then we are going to introduce you to his love, Bobby, the owner of this car.
The more important of this situation.
The one that wrote Steve probably some sizable checks for this car.
Yeah,
and
she did.
And we're going to go for a drive with Bobby in a little bit. So, okay, of all things, let's start here because the center console on these is typically semi-obnoxious. You don't notice it because you're like, who cares? It's a Pantera.
When we were disassembling the car, we 100% disassembled it. So we pulled out the dash and pulled out the seat, pulled out the everything, and we removed that big center console, and then we took out the shifter bucket, the shifter mechanism, and I looked at it, I had it on my dash, and I'm like, that thing is unbelievably cool. I had just gotten a new issue of Evo that covered the new Pagani that has an exposed gated shifter. The whole thing's just floating up there, and I'm like, oh, I can do that. So I cut all the windows in this I got rid of all the steel up here. And like I said, we reinforced in other areas, but I made these windows open, the two sides in the front. This was already there, obviously allowing for the linkage. And then I sent everything to advanced plating, and we carefully coated everything to a mil spec so all the operations still work, but everything's chrome plated. And then Steve again at Billet Badges made me this cover. It looks like the original one, but it's actually using the 4 big mounting holes that held the console in place. The original cover plate is only about this long. So we copied it.
Considerably larger.
Right, and the shifter plate itself is right underneath this. So you see how this is about a 1/4 inch thick? If you turned it over, it's only about an 1/8 inch thick. It sets down over top of the shifter bucket, we'll call it.
God, I love this being exposed.
Yes,
like this
and it's lit.
Seeing.
It's lit underneath it. So when you're driving, you watch it.
How do we light it?
Take that headlight switch and go to the middle. Also, the gauges you just saw light up. Those are from Speed Hut. They look like the factory originals, but those were a green backlit. Now we had them do this to match the car in blue. And then of course the vintage air controller.
All in original positions?
Well, those are.
These aren't because this was part of
they used to go
this,
vertical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the power window switches are the factory ones.
factory switches, but you guys built this
We made
whole...
that piece, yes.
Yes.
And that brown leather piece comes off and unbolts so you can get to all the wiring for maintenance.
And this is your everything for your audio.
Right,
in
that
this
is a
tiny little
Bluetooth
unit.
receiver. That is a Bluetooth receiver right there. You stream your music right to that, and then instead of looking at your phone, you control tracking, volume, your subwoofer up and down, everything. And there's a push in, it toggles between different operations too. So you don't have to look at your phone. You can stream it
And keep driving.
then operate that. Yep.
And you said these are original Pantera,
Those are Pantera power switches.
Window switches. Are the vents original?
No, those are vintage air.
Ah, they fit really well in here.
Yes, that's
They don't
my job.
look, yeah. This
then
is original switch, the light switch
That
here?
switch used to be on the center console. And then that little switch, see that little switch
I
there?
was just gonna ask, man.
Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of noise because I'm gonna have him turn on main power, which you're gonna hear the electric fuel pump start. This is how you start the car. That's from a 1932 Ford. So it's when you pull it out, there's two. The first initial one just is like your accessory, right? Then if you pull it all the way out, it starts the car. We're not gonna do that right now. Leave that there, okay? Take the headlight switch and put it all the way over like you're turning the headlights. Take that knob, the small knob, pull it out because it locks, pull it out and push it up. That brings the headlight doors up.
Oh my God.
Now, if you tried to not pull it out, it locks.
And then how do you bring them back?
You go down. Then you shut the lights off. And then just push that back in to turn off the power. Yeah. So that little switch, if you grab it right now, don't pull it out. Just leave it there, try push up. It won't.
It's not moving.
Right,
So
you have to pull it out
to move
you
it.
have to purposely want to bring your headlights up or down.
Was that ever?
No, I did that.
that's-
I found that switch on my own, but I wanted a switch that was smart.
I love your mad scientist thinking. Dude. I really do. I really
That's the polite way of saying I'm loony.
It's always one of my favorite parts of you and what you do is when I get inside your car and all the functionality and all the
Easter
thought
eggs,
put into
the Easter eggs.
man, like this. I was dying to ask you, what is this thing
what
next
does
to the
that do?
headlights? And when I turn the headlights on, notice that there is no headlights. Beautiful, man. Wow.
So, and another little thing that your eyes don't know that it's doing, but I did it on purpose. This is a dark little cave in here. So instead of brown, I put the very off-white. It's almost like it's a light to a point, right? It reflects light. It helps lighten up the interior.
That's smart. Yeah.
And then I put these little guys in here. They're actually waterproof boat RV lighting.
We were talking about it earlier, but as you sit here, it's highly noticeable.
Oh, the throttle.
Thank you.
I did the exposed linkage and the chromed arm going up to the pedal, and
I mean, I can feel the cable a little bit with my foot, but it's not.
oh no.
It's
Well,
not
that's where it
annoying.
was factory.
Is it?
It was a cable that went all the way up, and the cable just hid underneath the center console. That's
so
what.
cool to
that's
see
what
that.
That's why I said, you know what? We'll just stop the housing right there at the pillar of the shifter table.
Yeah.
And then make a little linkage there, and just do a solid ride up to the pedal.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong on this, Steve, but other than things like your vintage air,
Other than everything,
everything's mechanical on
yeah.
there.
Oh, very. But
I
there
mean,
is-
even opening the lights is mechanical.
to
It's
a
not,
point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know
You're-
there's
you're
electronics
engaged.
involved
Driver
in
engaged.
it. Yeah,
Driver
yeah.
engaged.
Yes, yeah.
So one of the fun things that we did for this, because these things are manual steering and they're a bear with big tires.
Now we're
especially-
going to get to what this
Right,
knob is
so
right
right
here.
down there where your hand is used to be where the ignition switch was the keys. Well, I don't need that anymore. And that little knob there is actually from a Fender Telecaster.
I love when you work guitar stuff in, man.
That knob, the more you turn it clockwise or towards the front of the car, increases the assist of the electric power motor.
If you
So it's
turn it all the
electric.
way back, does it go like
It's
full
neutral,
manual?
so you're on the track and you want manual, roll it off.
You go to a full
Roll it
manual
off.
and then as much as
You're
you
in
want to
town,
add.
you want to parallel park,
Uh-huh.
roll it all the way forward.
Curious, what came first? The chicken or the egg?
Chicken probably did.
What came first? This or this?
That.
So you
power-
wanted to do this, and
Yep.
then you went, where do I put the ignition now?
Right.
And you went 32
And I was gonna
forward.
do like a push button start or something. I'm like, everybody does that. Who cares?
Totally.
And then I'm like, I had that knurled knob from the Fender, and I'm like, I found this just at I think it was SoCal Speed Shop, and I'm like, that'll work perfect. And it's Ford. The pedals have been metal finished, lightning hole drilled, chrome plated, and then the inserts have been detail painted black by Kelly. They're works of art under there.
I can see, but are
Oh, yeah.
these are original
They're the
pedals
original
to
pedals
the car?
that have been beautified. Yeah.
Radically.
And little details for you guys picking it up. Lots of work. It's done by computer is this diamond pattern, a double stitch, and then a perforation on the inside of the diamond. That is work. Any of you that sew or stitch or do interiors, that's not funny. That's a bunch of work. And it came out beautiful.
I see why you're saying Eric hated you.
Yeah.
And then you were able to work in, there's subs here in the kick panels.
So those, I just had my guys make just a rolled piece of steel. Again, it just covered the ugliness there. And they're 6x9s, but they're subwoofers from Kicker.
And then these doors are 6x9s also?
No, these are like 5.5s, mids, and then the tweeters.
And then little tweeters up here. Wow, really cool, dude. Well, I'll tell you what, dude, there's, with you, I know there's probably a million other touches, but I think we've covered it well enough to give people a sense.
Oh, yeah.
And I think as much as people love looking at you and me, I think they'll enjoy looking at your girlfriend more.
I agree with that.
So we're gonna kick Steve out at this point.
I'm kicked off.
We're gonna bring in Bobby and we're gonna go for a drive in a car that's been in her family since she was.
She'll answer all those questions.
She'll give us the answers to that. So we're gonna go for a drive. Hey guys, want to throw out a quick reminder to you, man. It makes a huge difference on the channel if you hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hitting the like, sending a comment, to maybe sharing the video is even better. So with that said, let's jump back into today's video. Been in your family for you, how many years?
Since 1981.
Wow. Wow, you guys have had this car most of its life.
Mm-hmm. And
how cool.
It was custom done by Hull Pantera in the late 80s, early 90s, but nobody has records. I've worked with Pantera over there with Terra, and they don't have the old records. So we don't know exactly when, but we know based on people that work there, it was before this or before that or after this. So we're piecing it together. So we say late 80s, early 90s.
Wow, that's so cool you guys have had it for that long. You gotta be loving it from,
so excited.
From where it was to what it is now.
It's dependable. Clean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, especially, obviously the most dramatic physical difference is this.
Oh, the interior is stunning.
Yeah.
And just how his brain works, the brilliance to open this up.
This was genius to open up the shifting.
My favorite part.
I like, although you can't really see much of it right now, but seeing the linkage that he was buried under the center console.
Yep.
That's such a cool look.
I love it.
But gosh, this is, and then it's still, I gotta imagine it probably drives every bit Pantera still, other than better.
I think it drives exactly the same.
Does it?
Exactly. It even sounds the same. Yes.
I mean, there's nothing like the sound, looking at the obvious Italian design, but having that obvious American muscle car engine in the back.
Yeah, the Cleveland was my favorite. A lot of friends have switched over to the Windsor because it's easier to find the parts, it's easier to work with it. And I said, no, we're going to stick with the Cleveland. So
I love it. Keep the history of it. Why wouldn't you?
I tried. We tried as much as we could.
Do you know how many miles you guys have put on it since he finished it?
Oh, maybe 200, 100.
Okay, so still semi-fresh for you.
Yes. I just find myself looking at it. Like, it's always fun when others are driving. When Steve's driving, I'm looking at the knobs, I'm looking at the gauges.
Yeah.
They light up at night. This, to me, is like a concert at night. There's so much to see.
I'll bet it must light up so cool at night. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's got to just be stunning in here. Just seeing
this is beautiful.
Seeing the backlight of that, the blue of the gauges.
And these light up.
Yeah.
So you can see it through it. So
and this lights as soon as you go lights on here.
Yep.
Yeah. Boy, it's almost a shame we shot it during the day, except for you got to see the car during the day to really see it.
And everything was black before. Everything. Carpets, everything. So you couldn't really, there was not much to see.
Yeah. a tight, for you it's fine.
Yes.
For me with a size 12 foot,
Yes.
this would be a car you'd want to have driving shoes for, or I
yeah,
should have pulled
yeah.
off my shoes. Boy, it's geared really tall, isn't it?
Yes, I had that worked on as well. Don Breyer is a Pantera enthusiast, and he works on Panteras. He's since passed, since he worked on this, but he restores Panteras bottom up. He either lengthened or extended the second gear so that it would have less whining, whizzing on the freeway for me.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense too, because you make so much torque from the engine, you don't need it from gearing, you know? It's like, why not make it a drivable? But I mean, the idea, I'm in fourth gear, what are we at? 3,000 RPMs, you know? I mean, cruising
and it's
along.
just humming.
Yeah.
And this would be whining before. Like,
Yeah.
we couldn't hear each other. You couldn't hear music, you couldn't talk. So they did sound deadening.
Yeah.
And
Steve said he did a ton of sound deadening throughout. And obviously we have windows down. I'll bet you with windows up, AC on, it's probably fair.
very quiet.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
I just love the view, looking through the rear view mirror and seeing the air cleaner, seeing the, the engine right there.
Oh yeah, I find myself just looking back at it all the time.
Yeah. It's such a good look. Car drives just wonderful. This is
Thank you.
This is the third Pantera I've driven ever in my life, and I gotta say, it's by far the nicest driving one. I mean, it just feels great the way it's sucking up the bumps, and it's interesting that it is the original suspension, just all obviously cleaned up, you know, but I mean, it just drives wonderful. With the Willwood setup, is it noticeable on the braking?
They're still working out all the little fine tuning it. It creates vacuum,
Got it.
and because I got a Lopi cam, it doesn't create as much vacuum. At least that's my
Sure.
understanding.
Sure. Yep.
So we're still working on to make it most efficient.
Yeah.
But 100% better.
I mean, it's got to be a noticeable difference from what it once
Yeah,
was.
I used to have to stand on it once in a while.
I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet.
I've had others that were way worse. Like I had a little Studebaker that had little bias tires, and it was like, oh my gosh, I had to like stand on it to get it to stop. This is a dream now.
Yeah. How fun too, the idea that you and Steve meet because you bring in this car to do his Strope thing too. And now here you are, a couple with each other.
We are. It's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I still have that habit from that little
Sure.
piece that was not put together well, and the gate was always banging into it.
Yeah, I think it's natural. It's a funny thing. I was doing it the whole time we were driving. I was trying to force myself to not look at it. I think there's something about a gated shift until you're just completely 100% used to it, you know?
It's been a few years since we've had this all together.
You just got to go drive it a bunch more.
I do. This is all brand new.
Yeah.
It's the only second time I've taken it out.
Wow.
And Steve took it out a few more times than that.
Got it. Okay, so it's really, really fresh to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
brand new.
I think it's fun being a part of actually riding in the car with you while you're learning,
Oh, it's a process.
you know, while you're getting used to driving your car
yeah.
after all these years. I get it. I know what you're doing. And you know, it's like anything, right? You're thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're not comfortable yet.
No, it's all
You know, like
muscle.
think about riding a bicycle, right?
Yeah.
When you're thinking so much.
Yep. I live in a world where I'm afraid to break anything.
Yeah.
I've always had that weird little fear that, oh, I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to break it.
Yeah, I totally.
And after
get it.
all the work we've done, I would be mortified
Yes. Yeah.
to,
Funny, this thing has so much torque. To start out in second gear, no problem. You know?
yeah. First gear didn't last very long before, so it's better.
I like how tall the gears are on here where like this pace driving, you never need to
beautiful.
come out of third gear.
So
you got, I mean, you're at what, 2200 RPM.
The gauges are beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
just
You gotta love when Steve Strope and his team get his hands on cars because they keep the integrity of it, the history of it, everything about it, and somehow manage to make it better than it ever was when it was first born. And that's exactly what you got to see here. Plus the history of it. I absolutely love that this car has been in Bobby's family for over 30 years. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Just a reminder, man, the subscriptions, liking, commenting, all that stuff makes a huge difference for us. So please have at it. Also want to throw out the atlamerch.com. We do have a bunch of cool stuff out there, and the podcast is live. Autotopia LA podcast channel on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. That's a lot. I'll say goodbye. Have a good weekend. Later.